Welcome into the channel for another Foxley adventure. And today, SQU, Sakhal, Episode 9, Square One. In Episode 8, I adventured to a small military area where I was forced to take refuge in a cave to scathe off a cold. After doing so, I pushed into the geothermal plant valley, where I picked up a CR550 Savannah and a backup Tundra. More than happy with my trip, I made it home with a reindeer in bag. Well, it's later in the evening now, and it's time to cook my dinner. I really need to stop lighting fires in the dead of night in my church. It glows like a Roman candle. I'm gonna have to source myself a barrel today so we can cook from it. Lighten the glow. Or lessen the glow, rather. And I'm definitely going to need a gun cleaning kit. My Savannah needs a little TLC, so I've stowed it away in the tent, and I'm running with the Tundra. For those of you just joining the journey, the beginning and the entire playlist link is in the description. You're welcome. To get you up to speed, on my second day of this journey, I arrived in Capital City. And it's here where I decided that I was going to build a life for myself and see how long I could survive. It hasn't been without its trials and tribulations, or opportunities, if you will. It was a long road to get to this little pile of stuff I have here. We started off with a little bathroom stash in a brown house just down by the docks. That was eventually discovered, and my nails were taken. So we packed up camp and we set up shop in the woods in this tent that I have right here until we found the church, and we got the notion to move in. However, that in itself is easier said than done. We spent many hours searching for a handsaw, the vital tool that held us back from securing a door. However, with that accomplished, it gave me the little bit of confidence I needed to get out and explore my world just a little bit more. There we go, everything is prepped and ready. I would just light the fire, chill out in the ambient light, and wait for dinner. There's just something about the peace in a crackling fire. And it's damn fun to watch, too. I don't have anything particular in mind to do today, other than patrol the neighborhood and search for another barrel, and start scrounging more building supplies to beefing up security. For a single gate base, it doesn't provide much safety. I'm actually surprised it hasn't been broken into yet. Even though there's not a whole lot here to protect. A few building supplies, a couple boxes of nails, ghillie hood, ghillie suit, and Hannah Savannah. They're all stored away in that tent. The only problem is finding a thief clairvoyant enough to see I have nothing and move along. A crate, a barrel, an improvised cooking stand, and a tent. In a shabby old broken down church. But it's home. It's funny, without the fire in this church, even in the morning light, it's cold and stark. This fire just brings a little touch of warmth to it. And like I said before, it's inviting. As inviting as this cooked pot of reindeer. We'll let one set, and my taters ready, we'll nosh on that. This is delicious. And my question to Bohemia, why can't I make soups and stews? You know, superfoods for the road. We have meat and vegetable and water. and a handy dandy pot for cooking and carrying. Which is exactly what we're going to do. We're going to pack the reindeer back into the pot and let it cool on its own and hit the road. We need a barrel. But I digress. Getting back to the mechanics of the game, there's so many things that could be added to this to make it truly immersive. There's already a plethora of things that can be done in the game that the average player doesn't even bother with or don't even know you can do. Like for instance, taking a regular hand torch and combining it with fat or gasoline to make it burn brighter and longer. Or using a running vehicle to charge a dead battery. And see, that's exactly what I mean about lighting a fire, an open fire inside the church. It just glows. And those tall arched windows, that don't help either. Well, now that we're outside, it's time to check to see if the reindeer's ready. We're looking for orange, and there we go. Orange is still warm, but edible. I already have the brightness turned up to 40, but I think I'll jack it up full. It is night, and it is starting to snow, so it's overcast. Now, I'm definitely not going to find a barrel inside a house unless someone's placed it in there, but I am looking for a few other things as well. And there's an item right there. Oh, excuse me, sir. You don't mind if I... Whoa! I guess you do mind. Excellent. Fry pan, we don't need it. However, this leather repair kit, we're going to swap it out, take the one I have in hand, and use it to fix my vest and keep the fresh one. Rotate your stock. Don't ignore something because you have it. You might have less of it. And the number one thing I rotate as much as I can when I see it are boots. Definitely. There's a long road between pristine and worn. So fair warning, you play on a server where I've been, and you come across a pair of worn boots, chances are, it's got my foot fungus in it. And we got a car. Well, it's missing a tire, radiator, spark plug, water, and gas. But there's almost a car there. We've only wrapped around a few houses just outside of base. There's base right there. This is the parking lot to it. The church itself pretty much marks the end of urban civilization in Capital. Everything else beyond is quite rural. And I'm banking on its location, hopefully that it's going to be overlooked. From experience, never usually much loot to be had in churches like that. So there's really not much need to go to one. Unless, of course, you're looking for stashes, bases, or just somewhere to duck out of the storm. We're going to check some of the rural area. We've explored enough of the urban. You know what? I'm going to grab the 4-dial. I do want to beef up the base, so I'm going to need an airlock inside. That's right, you see me. Come on. Get some. Well, look at you going. How the hell did you get up there? You want your brother's hat? Here, take it. Well, that took an awkward bounce around the chimney back on the ground. Sounds like a you problem, buddy. I really don't care. Sorry. Ooh, he's got good ears for an old lad. Always make room for a kukri. I don't mind the color, but white is more fitting. I'll stay with the white. However, there's no point in throwing it away. We'll hold on to it for now. And what's that hiding in the shadows? Radiator. I wonder. And dump all this stuff and pack it. Take it to the Gunther. It's really too bad I couldn't make a fox hood. Beautiful animal though, undoubtedly out for a night hunt. Looking for mice and or rabbit. If I had a spool of wire, I could leave a snare for him. I could bait it with a worm. Come back, and he'd be our dinner. Which in Sakhal is a good practice to get into. If you're off for a hunt, or just a little mission, and you know you're coming back home, lay out a trap. Guaranteed by the time you come home, dinner's waiting. I'm waiting to see if he scores his dinner. You'll know it when you see it. They do a little hop in the air and pounce into the ground. Doing this sometimes forces the prey to run. Oh well, I lost track of him. Oh, there he is. Get out of here. Go on. Get. Before you end up someone's dinner. Come on. Yeah, you too, little buddy. No worries. Yappy little dude. Hey, mission complete. Well, not complete, but objective obtained. Now to get the barrel back safe. Safe from wolf, safe from bear, safe from infected, safe from player. The good news is we're not all that far. We're only but maybe 2-3 kilometers away from home. Up the valley and the last couple houses before the foothills of the mountains start. Alright, enough looting for things that I don't really need that aren't necessarily there anyway. Time to get this barrel home so we can create a stove. Yeah, don't worry. We'll make a long walk short. We'll double up on the speed. Post haste. And morning is quickly approaching. Couldn't be better timing. And there we have it. The church is in sight. Praise be the baby Jesus. Wait a minute. I lockpicked that before I left. Interesting. Undoubtedly, we've had some visitor. I think it's in our best interest, or my best interest, if I go out on another loot run ASAP. We need some building supplies. We need to get this airlock built up and a few more gates added on. I don't think it's going to be long before we have company. Best case scenario, I'm broken into and I see that I have nothing but a modest setup. Nothing worth looting, other than maybe my ghillies. Worst case scenario, I'm caught trying to get in my base, I'm killed, and I'm cleaned out. But either way, my base has been compromised. Maybe building in a church at the end of town wasn't such a good idea after all. We'll see. And I can honestly say that there's no comfort provided in the symbols that I'm surrounded by in this church. They offered no advice in avoiding what's to come, only how to pick myself up and move forward. And for now, that fire barrel will just have to wait. I need to drag my raggedy ass down to the docks and source some more building supplies. We need this airlock done immediately. And just as fate would have it, I don't get to maybe 300 meters from base, and I need to log. It'd be at least a restart or two before I got back. And to make matters worse, if they could be, when I do come back, I come back to the dead of night and the cold of a winter blizzard. And immediately I get a sense of impending doom. I need to go check the base before I continue on my loot run. Just as I feared and expected. We've been hit. Now let's just go see how hard we've been hit. Building supplies are there. Savannah's there. Gillyhood's there. It doesn't appear they took anything, really. There's a ghillie suit missing. And a pot of nails. All they took were the nails. Crying shame. All that work for nothing. Oh well. That's life in the post-apocalyptic DayZ. Quite possibly my own damn fault for picking such a poor base location. Maybe not a poor location if I was prepared to build it all out in one go, not section by section. I'm going to have to do that more remotely. Not sure what I'm going to do from here, but definitely exacting revenge is not off the table. I'm down, but I'm not defeated. Come on back. See how I bounce back.